Welcome to Whisperwood Stories. Today we're going to read 3 short scary stories from, r/short scary stories. Let's begin. Our first story is from GuyAwks. Down with the Christmas decorations.
Christmas was well over a month ago. Won't you take your bloody holiday lights down already?
If there is one surefire way for my Sunday morning to be ruined, it's hearing my cranky old neighbor tottering over to complain about my Xmas display. Good morning to you as well, Miss Willoughby. I sigh sarcastically, putting aside the newspaper I was reading on my porch.
Stop being lazy and take some responsibility for the appearance of this street.
She rasps at me as she reaches my front steps, arms folded. What's the problem with a bit of belated holiday cheer? I ask her, trying to keep my tone lighthearted. It's not hurting anyone. Miss Willoughby snarls.
I beg to differ. Just look at that eyesore.
And yet, I think bitterly, she has nothing to say about Mr. Everham's house next door. His lawn has been littered with tacky Christmas lawn gnomes for weeks. Talk about a double standard. Tell you what, hon. I'll pop up the ladder and take them down this afternoon, I assure Miss Willoughby with a plastered-on smile. Begrudgingly, she saunters back to her home. Resuming my reading, I remind myself to leave the lights up for another month, just to put the old bat in her place. Come nighttime, my wife and I find ourselves awoken by rattling sounds coming from the roof. Bolting up, I head outside to investigate the racket. As I look up to the roof, I glimpse a figure standing there. My worry turns to anger when I see it's Miss Willoughby, ripping down our Christmas lights herself and tossing them off the house. Miss Willoughby, what in the blazes are you doing? Get the hell off my roof before you get hurt! Undeterred, she responds while dismantling my neon decorations.
I told you, you must take these dratted Christmas lights down now. You're putting your whole family in danger leaving them up. Are you insane? I shout, processing the absurd visual of a middle-aged woman on a rooftop in the middle of the night. I'm calling the police. Fine. I'll tell you the truth. She calls down to me frustratedly. There are monsters which nest in this neighborhood that are attracted to Christmas decorations. The longer they're left up, the more outgoing and bloodthirsty they become. Wow. This woman is completely batty. Oh, really? Then why single out my house's decor? What about our neighbor's festive plastic lawn gnomes? Before she can respond, however, I feel a sharp pain in my calf. I look down to see the silhouette of a short humanoid tearing open my flesh. To my horror, it's not alone. I scream out as the army of sharp-clawed, foot-tall gremlins leap toward me. With these tiny monsters ripping into me, only now do I realize. Those weren't festive plastic lawn gnomes. Our second story is from K.G. Lewis. A barrel full of laughs. Zach stood, leaving his empty plate on the carnival picnic table. When his girlfriend, Hillary, saw what he had done, she said, "Aren't you going to throw that away?" No, Zach replied, unable to look Hillary in the eye. He'd hoped she wouldn't notice. Why not? She scoffed. The trash can is right there. She gestured at the barrel that was painted to look like the body of a clown. Sitting on top of it,
was a sculpted fiberglass clown head, with its mouth opened wide, inviting people to fill its belly with trash. Because he stared at Hillary, trying to come up with a believable excuse, but nothing came to mind. Because I am afraid to go near it, he sighed. That was the truth. What? Hillary scoffed. You're joking, right? Zach shook his head. I have really bad luck when it comes to clowns, he explained. But that's not a real clown. She swept her hand towards it. It's a trash can? That doesn't matter, Zach explained. Anything that is even remotely clown-related is a threat. She raised her eyebrows. A threat? Yes, a threat, he insisted. It started when I was 4. My mom bought a circus-themed cake for my birthday that had these little plastic figures on top, one of which was a clown. When my mom removed all the figures to cut the cake, I picked up the clown and started licking the icing off his feet. Next thing I knew, it was lodged in the back of my throat and I was choking. From that point on, Zach continued, anytime I got near anything that resembled a clown, something bad happened. Every time? Hillary asked, thinking he was exaggerating. Every time, he answered. I was severely burned by a clown candle holder. He lifted his shirt to show her the burn scars. I almost lost my finger to a pair of clown scissors. He showed her the scar around his pinky finger. I was even run over by a clown mobile at a carnival, he snapped. It broke my leg in 3 places. He gestured at his thigh. That's insane. That's not even half the things that happened to me, he replied. At first, Hillary thought he was joking. Now, after hearing him talk about it, she could tell he was completely serious. And that's why I'm going to leave the plate there and not go anywhere near that trash can, Zach declared. I'll throw it away. Hillary grabbed the plate and began walking towards the clown-shaped trash can. Don't, he tried to warn her, but it was too late. Hillary didn't see the carnival employee in the golf cart until she was directly in his path. He had to swerve to avoid hitting her, but ended up hitting the trash can instead. That knocked the fiberglass clown head off of the can, sending it hurling through the air, directly at Zach. Fucking clowns. That was the last thing Zach ever said. Our last story is from JCA 1836. Bev is in the tub. Bev stared at the bathroom ceiling, her mind whirling with thoughts. The semester was coming to a close, and she was worried about her grades. She always worried about her grades. Then there was her job. A new manager had just gotten hired, and he was an insufferable prick. She really wanted to quit, but the money was too good for a college student to pass on. Her dog was also getting older. Little Taco had turned 13, and who knew how much longer he was going to be around. She exhaled deeply and closed her eyes, really taking in the sensation of the hot water. The bath was working wonders to relax her body. Her mind? Not so much. Bev? Are you doing all right in there? Her eyes shone open, and she stared at the ceiling for a moment longer. Yeah, Mom, I'm fine, she called out. She relaxed in the water again and closed her eyes. Music would have been nice. She should have turned on something relaxing before getting in the tub, but it was too late now. The hot water had its hold on her, and she was not going to be leaving it. Her mind drifted back to her dog. Would she get another one after he passed? Maybe eventually, but it would probably be a while before that happened. She had grown up with him, and it wasn't easy to imagine owning any other dog. Bev? Are you okay? She sighed with frustration. Yes, Mom, I'm fine, she annoyedly yelled out. Relaxation seeped in again. This time, her mind was able to relent its worries. Panicked banging started to occur on the bathroom door. She groaned and got out of the tub, then grabbed her towel and covered herself. "Mom, I told you that I'm fine," she said. The door flew open, and a blood-curdling scream ripped through the air. She stared with confused fear. "Mom? What's wrong?" Her mother collapsed to the ground, sobbing, then crawled over to the tub. Bev turned around and saw herself in the tub. Her lifeless body lay limply in the hot water. She hadn't remembered falling asleep. Thank you for listening to Whisperwood Stories. If you enjoyed, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe down below. Do you have a story that you'd like me to read here? Consider commenting or sending it to whisperwoodsubmissions@gmail.com. The stories in this video were read with the author's permissions. Thank you again for listening, and be sure to check out the original Reddit posts. Want to support me? Check the link below where you can leave a tip if you wish. And remember, don't let the shadows get too close. Good night.